I mean, just look at these. Look at these steaks. Look at them. So we've made mushrooms that taste like lobster. We've made mushrooms that taste like crab. I've done mushroom bacon. I've done a lot with mushrooms and I really like mushrooms. And recently I got a comment from somebody that wanted me to try out a technique from Derek Sarno where he turns an oyster mushroom into a steak. Now I picked up a large batch of these oyster mushrooms and I'll tell you, this doesn't look like a steak to me, but David uses a technique that makes it resemble a steak-ish type of product. Now the end result is more barbecue than it is steak. It's coated in a sauce and marinated in a sauce and then either roasted or grilled. We're gonna do a little roasted version of it. But the end result still comes up with a steak-like product. Is this a steak or is this just a grilled mushroom? Let's find out, let's see what we could do. Let's try to mimic David's technique and see if we can turn these oyster mushroom clusters into a steak. So to do this technique, you're gonna need some large clusters of a brown oyster mushroom or just oyster mushroom. To find these large clusters, I had to go to one of my Asian markets that had them packaged up. These were the largest clusters that I could find. I'm gonna try to handle these a little bit less because right now they're kind of breaking up and I don't want them to break that much. So besides having very large clusters of oyster mushrooms, you're also gonna need some iron skillets. You can do one large iron skillet and then any heavy pan that you have. I'm actually gonna use 3 pans to really make this happen. So let's get this going. So first thing we're gonna do is we're gonna get this pan really hot. I have it heating on a medium heat. We're gonna let this just sit for about 2 minutes. Now I don't really have to do much to clean these. I already chopped the bottoms of them off, like the hard stem. Other than that, these things are ready to go. We're not gonna really mess with them all that much. Okay, so we got the pan pretty hot. I'm gonna use a canola oil and just give it a really heavy spray. If you're using like just a non-spray, then do, I would say probably about a tablespoon or so at least, because we don't want these mushrooms to stick. So now all we're gonna do is just place the mushrooms down in the pan, and then we're gonna use another cast iron pan to apply some weight to these guys. We're gonna be pressing for about the next 10-15 minutes or so. Just to really step up the weight that's on these guys, I'm gonna use a 3rd cast iron pan to really give these guys some weight. And what this is gonna do, it's gonna allow the mushrooms to lose all their moisture, all the moisture is gonna come out of them, and they're gonna press together, forming layers of just incredible mushroom steak-like texture. So this goes without saying, make sure the bottom of your pan is clean. I did that before I started this video. The bottom of my pan was clean and had a really light coat of oil. Your cast iron should always be clean on the bottom. The amount of liquid that is coming out of these things is just unbelievable. I want to press until the pans can't be pressed anymore. There's a lip on the front and then the handle here in the back. I'm gonna give them some good pressure. This pan is starting to get hot, so I'm gonna have to get an oven mitt to kind of press down. I will say this is a hot technique, so be careful if you're doing this. My arm is getting the residual heat coming up from the pan. Okay, so it's been about 10 minutes. Let's go ahead and take these off. That looks good and pressed. I don't know if it looks like a steak. So I'm gonna remove these mushrooms. They are tough. They do look okay. I think all in all, I don't know, we'll see. I mean, that side looks wonderful, honestly. So what we're gonna do at this point is we're gonna salt and pepper the uncooked side of these guys. I'm gonna hit them with a little bit of what's called, this is chop. You can use any of your favorite steak or grilling seasoning. And we're gonna give them a flip and season this second side as well. Now at this point, all I'm gonna do is spray the pan. Again, make sure we got a hefty amount of oil. And we're gonna drop these guys uncooked side down, back in the oil, then add our weights, and then let these guys press for about another 2-3 minutes, not that much longer. So while these guys are cooking, I'm gonna make a simple sauce to coat these guys. That's what's gonna marinate them before they get roasted and turned into a very steak-like type of taste. So I'm gonna use just any barbecue sauce that you like, and I'm gonna use some Marmite to really boost up that steaky flavor. But I'm thinking just a simple mix of a little bit of Marmite with some barbecue sauce. I'm actually gonna add just a touch of liquid smoke. I really think that Marmite with the liquid smoke and barbecue sauce is gonna take these over the next level. I'm telling you, next level. I have a feeling these are gonna be pretty wonderful, honestly. So supposedly they should feel, once they're golden brown like this, they should feel like the consistency of your thumb. And I'll tell you, it's pretty good. It's pretty surprising, honestly. It's almost shocking how much it does feel like that. So all I'm gonna do now is just take this sauce and just coat them on both sides. Make sure it's completely coated. Could have probably made a little bit more, but that's okay. I watched the behind the scenes of one of David's videos and he slathered these things in this sauce. So I'm not gonna go as crazy as he did as far as the seasoning sauce is concerned, but I am gonna make sure that they are coated. Okay, so here it is. We have our steaks all coated up on a small baking sheet. I'm gonna throw these in the refrigerator and let them chill and kind of marinate and soak all that sauce in for about the next 2 hours. Okay, these have been in the refrigerator. You can go anywhere from 2 hours to overnight, honestly. The longer they're gonna sit, the more they're gonna firm up, the more they're gonna soak in that sauce. So at this point, we're gonna let them kind of come up the temperature a little bit, take off the top of the chill, and then we're gonna throw them in the oven at 400 degrees for around 40-45 minutes. I can't wait to see how these come out. They're gonna be unbelievable, unbelievable. So just make sure you flip them about halfway through cooking time, baste a little bit more of the sauce, any remaining sauce that you have left over. If you don't have any left over, make some more. Just make sure you baste them, flip them about halfway through. Okay, these steaks, mushroom steaks, look incredible, incredible. I'm gonna throw them on here onto this little cutting board, let them cool down. They look wonderful. So let's slice into these. I think they're gonna be just incredible. I'm gonna cut them at a little bit of an angle. Now I wanted them to sit for about 5 minutes or so, but I'll tell you, I mean, it looks like a barbecued meat. It really does. It's shocking. I mean, it's just shocking. Okay, let's see. I got 2 slices here of my mushroom steak. Let's see what we got. I think it's gonna be pretty good. That's unbelievable. That's unbelievable. It's incredible how meaty, it's chewy. I mean, that's unbelievable. Oh my God. That is meaty and chewy. That is just so wild. When you're pressing down, you're forming these layers and these pockets where some of the sauce will seep into and flavor it. Now my sauce here, I made a little spicy. It's definitely a little spicier than what I would have wanted to, but it's also very meaty, which is unbelievable. Now I might have pressed mine a little too thin, but I wanted to make sure I had the water out of it. I can't get over that. Well, I definitely wanted to try this one. This is the oyster mushroom steak. Does it taste like steak? It's pretty close. I think I'm gonna work on this one just a little bit more, but for right now, just the way that I made it, it would be really, really enjoyable. I'd love to put this on a sandwich, have like almost like a steak and cheese. Oh, that would be so good. Well, hope you guys enjoy this one. If you're gonna make this one, please let me know. Follow me over at Instagram at the SauceStache guy. You can shoot me pictures. I always love seeing what you guys make, and I post it to my story all the time. I love doing that. I love sharing your creations. All the people that are listed over here on the side, they're the members of the Sauce Squad. You can join the Sauce Squad over at patreon.com/SauceStache for only a few bucks a month and get your name over here on the side. If you haven't yet, make sure you click the subscribe button and click this video right here. This could be another one of my veggie videos. Thanks. Wow.